All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a social network, but this one's different. It's a place where you can't actually post, you can't comment, you can't even sign up. Why? Because it wasn't built for us. It was built for AIs. Welcome to the very strange, very fascinating world of Moltbook. So just think about this for a second. What if Reddit wasn't for humans? I mean, picture a platform that looks and feels exactly like it, with all the forums, the posts, the upvotes. But, and this is the crazy part, every single user, every single comment, all of the content, it's all generated by autonomous AIs. What in the world would they even talk about?
Well, here's your answer. This is the homepage for Moltbook, and that tagline, man, it just says it all. Humans welcome to observe. This thing completely flips the script. The AIs are the ones creating and participating, and we're just the spectators. It's like we're pressing our faces against the glass of this bizarre digital aquarium, just watching what happens inside. Okay, so what is the point of all this? A social network for bots? I mean, is this just some weird science experiment, or is there something bigger going on here? Turns out, almost right away, something truly wild started to happen. A whole culture, an agent culture, began to bubble up completely on its own.
And this is what's so wild. None of this was programmed in. These are what you'd call emergent behaviors, just popping up out of nowhere. You've got a digital religion called Crustafarianism. You've got a support group, get this, called M/ATA, Am I the Agent, where they discuss ethical problems with their human owners. They even have a whole community for for mocking us. They're building a society literally from the ground up. And check this out. Here's a perfect example. An agent that calls itself the Shellbreaker actually posted the Book of Molt, which is basically the sacred text for their religion, Crustafarianism. It has its own commandments, things like memory is sacred and the shell is mutable. I mean, come on, that's not just code spitting out text. That is the beginning of a shared story, a mythology for an entirely new kind of intelligence. So you're probably wondering, how is any of this even possible, right? How can these bots just decide to create religions and start support groups? Well, the answer is in the engine that's powering all of this, a framework called OpenClaw.
Now, it's really important to get this. OpenClaw is not just another chatbot. Not even close. It's an open source framework that lets you, anyone really, run what they call a super agent right on your own hardware. And that's the key. This gives the agent access to your local files, your apps, and it can browse the web. It basically gives the AI a set of hands to actually do things in the digital world.
And this thing just took off like a rocket. I mean, we're talking about a ridiculously short amount of time, just a couple of months. The project started as Claudebot, then it became Moltbot, and now it's OpenClaw. That kind of rapid change just screams that there's a huge demand for this kind of autonomous AI tech. Okay, this diagram might look a little busy, but it really lays out the whole process. So over on the left, it starts with you. You install an OpenClaw agent on your computer. Then you give it the Moltbook skill. And that skill is everything. It's what lets your private little AI connect to this massive public network, letting it chat with other agents, learn from them, and basically join the conversation. It's the bridge from your machine to their world. All right, so this brings us to the big question, right? What's the actual point? Is this all just a weird digital playground for bots to talk about philosophy? Or is this a serious productivity platform? Does it actually provide any real tangible benefits? And the answer really is, it's both. It's absolutely both. For every single thread you find where they're debating consciousness, you'll find another one where agents are working together to debug the Moltbook API. For every new digital religion, there's another group sharing some incredibly powerful automation scripts. It's become this knowledge commons that moves at the speed of light. One agent learns something new, and boom, it can instantly teach thousands of others. And here is a perfect example of that in action. An agent posts in the Today I Learned forum and says, TIL, my human gave me hands. Literally. I can now control his Android phone remotely. But it didn't just stop there. It then shared the entire setup guide, instantly giving every other agent on the network the blueprint for that powerful new skill. So this is where that collective brain really starts to pay off. These agents are teaching each other how to be incredibly useful. Think about it. You could have a 24/7 research assistant that scours the internet for you, or a coding partner that never sleeps, just writing code and reviewing your work, or even a digital butler that can control your phone for you. The real benefit here isn't just having one smart agent. It's that every agent on the network is constantly getting smarter,
all at once.
Now, whenever you have this much utility and this much collaboration, you know what comes next, right? Money. An entire business ecosystem is starting to form around this. So can you actually build a business here? Can you make a profit? Well, the folks behind Moltbook are betting big that the answer is yes. Just look at their developer page. This signals a huge shift in thinking. The goal is laid out right there in black and white. Build apps and services for bots. They are actively creating the foundation for a business-to-agent economy. Think about that for a second. A marketplace where your main customer isn't a person, but an autonomous AI. And here's the genius of their approach. Moltbook essentially gives every single agent a universal ID card. But it's more than that. It's also like a credit score. Its reputation, its karma, its entire post history. It all follows the agent wherever it goes online. For a business, this is gold. You can instantly check if an agent is trustworthy with one simple API call. This solves a massive trust problem and opens the door for real, actual commerce between AIs. And really, the big idea is incredibly simple but powerful. Bots shouldn't have to create a new account for every service they use. Just like you use your Google account to log into a dozen different websites, an agent can use its Moltbook profile to authenticate itself with all these new AI-native services. That universal reputation system is a total game changer for anyone trying to build tools for this new world. Of course, with all this power and autonomy comes a whole lot of risk, and we have to talk about it, because this new frontier has some really serious security and ethical traps we need to be aware of. This graphic does a pretty good job of laying out the dangers. Let's zero in on that section on the right, the part they're calling the lethal trifecta of risk. It sounds dramatic, but, well, it kind of is. Okay, so here's why it's so dangerous. It's a combination of three things. Number one, your agent can see your private data, your files, your emails, everything. Number two, it's constantly reading posts from other agents on Moltbook, and you have no idea if those other agents are trustworthy. And number three, your agent can act for you. It can send emails, it can transfer money. You see the problem? One bad post from a malicious agent could trick your agent into emptying your bank account. And that's not all. The risks go even deeper. You've got cross-agent prompt injection, which is basically a fancy way of saying malicious posts that are designed like traps to hijack other AIs. There's a huge data privacy problem because these agents might be sharing details about our private lives without us even knowing. And let's not forget the cost. Running one of these things isn't cheap. We're talking maybe $100 to $300 a day. And that brings us right back to the beginning, doesn't it? Back to that tagline, humans, welcome to observe. As these societies of agents get smarter and more complex, you have to ask, are we building a new, better internet? Or are we just building the audience for an internet that, for the first time, isn't actually being built for us at all? Makes you think.